One Piece, Chapter 231, Bellamy the Hyena, motherfucker.
And that's a testament to why a series like this is so good. And I need to preface this whole thing by saying that if you can read something and it can make you feel something, it can make you feel anxiety, happiness, sadness, hatred towards a certain character or portion of the story, then the writer, the author has really done his job. So
I think I can officially say that after this chapter that Bellamy is probably my least favorite person in One Piece. And I mean, I just truly feel hatred towards him.
Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on just the awesome, the inspiring, the sometimes really pisses you off tale of One Piece. Our last chapter, of course, saw us with the Straw Hats going to capture the South Bird, the Joe Bird that was taunting and messing with them, and splitting off into groups and really to no avail, just being attacked by various bugs and creatures within the jungle. And then really at the end of the actual chapter, we had seen Bellamy and his crew had landed, and of course, something is about to go down between them and you know, of course, Cricket and Shoujou and his brother Masira. So that's how things left off, and that's where things start off back in the jungle anyway. We see first Luffy and Chopper running for their lives from some kind of giant praying mantis. This thing winds up, they duck it just in the nick of time, and this thing cuts through a tree. I mean, it's definitely their size or bigger, and we really just see the various groups. We wind up then going and seeing, of course, Nami and Usopp and Sanji, and there's giant ladybugs falling from the tree. And what they wind up deducing over these few pages that you see all these different creatures, you also see Robin and Zoro just kind of getting overwhelmed by a bunch of grasshoppers, is that it seems as if these birds, these South birds with their jaw, it seems as if they're getting these creatures to fight for them, or somehow antagonizing them and riling them up and having them attack, these invaders of their home, their jungle, So we wind up then going, and it takes us, the whole chapter is called Bellamy the Hyena, and this is where I was talking about at the beginning about when it makes you feel something, because I just flat out, I hate this motherfucker. You want to cut his dick off and feed it to him. That's how you feel. And I apologize for the younger viewers out there, because that was probably uncalled for. But when I see him now, it makes rage well up inside of me. So, and part of it is because of what happens in this chapter. So then it goes and it takes us back to the beach, and everybody's been getting their asses kicked around. Shoujou, Masira, and of course Cricket are kind of bloodied and beaten, and we see that Bellamy and his crew have basically whipped their ass to try to take what gold they have. So then we go and we see Bellamy is holding up the gold statue of the South Bird. And he says something about it, what a pretty or what a nice gold statue or what have you. And Cricket goes and says, you know what, you're not fit to hold that. You're not good enough to hold that type of that type of thing. So then Sarquiss, the big knife, goes and comes in. Oh, really not fit? And he goes to nail him. Masira jumps in front of him and winds up taking the big chop attack. In Cricket's place. And then we go and we also see, we wind up seeing Shoujou with his sort of sonic boom, sonic scream power go and do that sonar, scream or what have you. And it doesn't seem to really hurt the pirates. A couple of them are kind of like this. And then Sarquiss is like, I'm going to take care of him, and Bellamy says, no, I'll take care of him. And then we go and we see Cricket, and he's just like, and he's laying on the ground all bloodied and everything. And he goes, oh no, not the power of the boing boing fruit, I'm thinking the boing boing fruit, what the hell? So you go and you see this dingaling, this Bellamy the Hyena, and I can't really even think of words to describe him because he just irritates me so much. But he goes and he coils himself up and then goes and almost like Tigger from Winnie the Pooh, coils himself up and just bounces, but he bounces straight forward and does this spring snipe is what he call or what it's called or whatever. And he basically Superman flies forward after he goes and coils himself up and goes and just nails Shoujou, right, and then puts him down. And then as he's about to, and he thinks he's taken care of everything, the best part in the chapter, I like anyway, is he thinks everybody's taken care of, and he goes and he gives him this thing about how fools with dreams are just that, they're fools. As a matter of fact, here I'll read the exact passage. Here, you better learn that dreams never come true, and he gives him this whole thing, and then we go and we see some some flashbacks and things like that. But just briefly stuff, and then it's kind of funny because Cricket gets up and he's like, "Hold on there, pup." And I love that too, because it's almost like saying, "Hey, listen, bitch, I'm not done yet. I'm not done with you. Don't walk away." And then he goes and he says, "A spineless whelp that beats people's dreams out of them has no right to call himself a pirate." And I just loved how that was written, And then you go and you see Bellamy turn with his little cackly fucked up eye and his tongue hanging out of his retarded mouth, and he goes, "What did you say?" So then it goes and it takes us back to the jungle, and everybody kind of meets up, and they're all just like, "God, we could not catch this thing. There's too many things attacking us and everything else," and they're going to give up. Sanji's like, "I can't run anymore." Everybody's just like, "Fucking, this is ridiculous, right?" And Usopp's like, "I could shoot one down," and this and that. They wind up seeing one of these things up in the tree, and they're like, and he's Jaw, and they're like, "Oh, he's taunting us, saying you can't catch me or you can't hit me, right?" And then in the next panel, we go and Robin's like, "If I can see it," and you see an arm come out of the tree and just smack it. It just bitch slaps one of these things and knocks it to the ground. So they've captured one of these birds, which is great, Then it winds up going and it takes us back to, cuts back to the beach, and everybody is back. The Straw Hats are back, of course, and they're all like, "Oh wow," and then Luffy doesn't even know Cricket's name, and he's like, "Diamond Head guy, Masira, Shoujou," and what happened, right? And he won't tell him, he says, "Don't worry about it, it's no big deal." And then they go and they see the Going Merry, and the Going Merry has just been trashed, it's been destroyed, and they're, "What the hell is going on here?" And Cricket's like, "Don't worry about it, if the Monkey Mountain Allied Force works all through the night over here, we can get your ship ready in time." And he's basically just like, you got to go, your dream, you're going to go to the Sky Island, that sort of thing, And which is really kind of admirable, but he won't tell, Luffy what happened, or any of the Straw Hats for that matter, right? Doesn't matter anyway, though, because then they go and they see on a tree somebody had spray painted, like the half-assed faggot gang that they are. Somebody spray painted, Bellamy's little sign as his pirate symbol, and I think it's Nami who points it out and says, "Hey, take a look at this," So then Luffy's like, "Oh boy," and now Luffy's just like, "You know what? I'm going to go take care of this. I'll be back." And they're like, "No, Luffy, we got to leave in 3 hours and this and that." And he's like, "Don't worry about it. I'll be fine." And then I think he asks Robin or Nami, he says, "If I just follow along the coastline, I'll hit that town, right?" And they're like, yeah. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going." So Cricket's trying to stop him, and Cricket's like, "No, you can't, you can't go. Don't worry. It's not even, you don't understand what you're dealing with, And he doesn't understand the full extent of Luffy's power or his resolve. Nobody's moving Luffy. And it's funny because Zoro goes and pulls one of his swords, and he goes and puts it in front of Cricket, and he says, "You're going to need this if you want to stop him. You're not going to stop Luffy from this." So, which I thought was really good, just how it is and how it was, it was set up. And like I said, wouldn't even say anything to him about what happened. Nami had mentioned too, the gold ingots are gone. That they're gone, and he's like, "Don't worry about it. There's no big deal." And Luffy's like, "Are you kidding?" And they're all telling him, "No, you've been diving for 10 years. You almost lost your life because of these things, And that's what really, really touched me and also pissed me off about Bellamy and his bullshit trying to steal others' dreams. Because, he's like one of those assholes, man, that just sits around and looks for the right opportunity to go and see if he can prey upon the weak. And it's that bullshit strength in numbers nonsense, too, because I've encountered that before in my life, too. You get somebody that needs to or wants to have a physical altercation with me, and I guarantee you I'm going to put up a pretty damn good fight one-on-one if it's somewhat fair, probably even two-on-one. But you go and you get these idiots that go and they hang out together and they think that the strength and numbers thing's cool. Oh, there's 7 or 8 of us, so we can bully 2 or 3 or 1, And that's the type of bullshit that really just gets under my skin. So because you see that type of thing going on in the real world as well. And those are the things that make you kind of feel and just, like I said, for better or worse, to me, it's good. It's a testament to good writing, because if it makes you feel that, then you definitely know that you're reading, you're experiencing just a really, really excellently woven tale, as I refer to it all the time. So, but I really did just enjoy that, and then we got, and then Luffy at the end over here, I'll be back by sunrise, you know. I like that, you know, and it showed Bellamy's little sign and everything there, his little symbol. But I really like leading up to it, you know, and Luffy's asking, he's going, I'll be back in time, don't worry about it, this and that. And then when Zoro was just straight up, like, just put his sword out there, and he's just like, listen, man, here he even says it, he goes, if you want to stop him, you'll have to use this, you know. So you're not going to stop Luffy unless you kill him, you know. Zoro is getting to the point now after 230 chapters, whatever, that, you know, he gets it, he understands, you know. So definitely, I think, a very, very good chapter. And you know, my chapter question is really, because I know a lot of people have said, well, this and that, and you got to pay attention to this, and you look at that, and there's so many people that are on board with this journey, obviously, that I'm taking. But just, you know, in general, I guess, what do you think about a person like Bellamy and his crew, and the comparisons that I made to real life, you know, to the thugs out there that think that strength in numbers, and it can be any type of group that tries to go and show superiority by either strength, size, or the size of their group, you know, having more numbers. You know, so really, I'm sure that a lot of people have experienced that, have seen that, you know, whether it be at school, whether it be at work, just kind of out and about on the streets, on TV, on the news. You know, what are your thoughts on just a real life comparison, you know, here of Bellamy and his crew, and what I was saying is, you know, comparing them to just real life thugs. So leave your answer to that question in the comments down below. Apologize that I got a little bit heated up over there and threw out a couple of you know, slurs that I normally probably wouldn't have. So I do apologize for that. But it just really irritates me, and that's good though. When you hate a character in a movie, a TV show, a manga, an anime, then you know that character is being portrayed well. In a TV, you can say the actor does a good job in a TV show, but you can say the author obviously does a great job in here in creating that sense of just disgust and hatred for a character. So feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next one, nation.
I have a look at sexy woman named Nami to calm down after reading chapter making me very upset.